partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the album. Hey there everybody and welcome back to the Trick Room. As usual, I'm your host Operations Paul, and this time we're going to be diving into the debut album of the one, the only, Rebecca Black. I have been a Rebecca Black fan for the longest time. I really love Friday, even though it is so cringy. And all the songs from her 2021 EP, Rebecca Black Was Here, are brilliant, alongside her collaboration in the same year with Slater called Read My Mind, which remains one of the best pop duets in a really long time. It's got such a punchy chorus to it. And after a long list of singles, Rebecca is finally here with her first album. It is Let Her Burn. And the singles that she's released from this so far, namely Crumbs and Sick to My Stomach for me, have been top tiered. And she's really differentiating herself from all of her peers by doing something a bit more grungy, a bit more dark, akin to some of the stuff that Demi has been doing in their recent work as well. Also, I've definitely noticed the fact that she's released her album on a Thursday today, the 9th of February, versus the Friday, which is what the normal release day would be. So we definitely love a self-referencing queen there. She's been working really hard to dispel the fact that she's known as the Friday girl and wants to do something a bit more different, something outside of the comfort zone, and she really has done that so far with this project. I had the supreme pleasure of watching Rebecca live last Saturday, where she did the full album for the first time in Dublin, and from what I heard, it was brilliant. Side note, like, she just put on such a good show. She was absolutely phenomenal live, engaged the crowd, really told her story so well, and also the vocals were amazing. And the Friday remix that she did, done with Big Frida and Dorian Electra, really has changed the legacy that song has had too, which I'm just like, that is so smart. She's got such a good music brain in her. So taking a quick look at the track list, we have 10 songs coming in at 30 minutes, so a very snappy project here. And as I say, I've already heard Crumbs and Sick to My Stomach, which I loved both of. They were amazing single choices for her. And as you can see here, I put a flame emoji against the ones that I am most hyped about, namely Destroy Me, because when I saw it live I was like, this is gonna be punchy. From what I remember, the production was really high on this one. And Look at You, which is A, explicit, which I love, and B, sort of like an ominous title. I don't know what that's gonna be like. So without any further ado, let's sit back, relax, put our headphones in and listen to Rebecca Black's debut album, Let Her Burn. First up, we have track number 1. This one is called Erase You. Oh, nice fade in already to start off.
I can't think about any of the good things about you now. Just all of the ways that you let me down. Got me lashing out.
This is a breakup anthem. There's those vocals I was talking about. They're beautiful. She can't erase them. They're stuck in her mind. Oh, she switches it up already. Nice. Oh, she needs to kill her feelings before she can move on with her life. Nice. I love how she does it with the verses where they're more muted and then the chorus is such a hyper pop anthem. Oh. She even sounds like she's faded there. Oh, nice. She's letting them play the villain, so she's like, I'm putting the blame on them, even though she knows that she's done things wrong. The production is beautiful. It's like she's like underwater still, and like they're echoing around her mind. Oh, that was actually really good. And I feel like it was different from the other songs we've heard so far too. It was like over the top bombastic. It was more muted and self-reflective and really honest. My basic understanding of the story is that she broke up with someone, or someone broke up with her, and after that she can't think of anything nice to say about the person anymore in the damn moment.
I can't find one damn thing to like about you right now in the moment.
And it really is a story about how Rebecca villainizes her ex-girlfriend here, because she's saying things like, you know, I painted you perfect, but then I replaced the color of your eyes with blood red skies. And obviously the line, I'll let you play the villain, when she's retelling this story to her girlfriends or anybody else, she's going to say that this ex-partner was toxic and the reason why they broke up, even though Rebecca kind of is admitting here there's a lot of reasons that she played in this breakup as well. Especially when she says, I'll keep my safe deep underwater, all my mistakes, I kept them covered. So she's really not, at this moment in time at least, willing to own up to all of that. I'm excited to see if that is sort of the story that we get in this album. Okay, over to song number 2. I'm so hyped for this. It is Destroy Me. Also, I really love the juxtaposition between Erase You in track 1 and then Destroy Me in the second one, so hopefully some synergy here within the two as well. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, she mistreated by somebody here. And she's like, come on, destroy me. Oh, it goes hard. Oh. This is fire, wow. Oh. The verses are all the things she's doing to try and fit in with a cool click. And one thing I really like about this one so far is that in the first verse, she's kind of trying so hard to fit in. And then in the pre-chorus here, she's saying things like, shutting you off, no more looking back, I don't see you because I drive too fast. She's not caring anymore what people think about her. This is definitely an ode to her days in Friday when everyone said she was cringy. And like, she was 13, guys. Let's maybe lay off a little bit. And there's like anticipation in this bit, and tension is really nice. This is like her driving through the night and sort of thinking about it. Like, she's like, yeah, go ahead. Ooh. This person is such a dick. Nice. She just suits this type of pop sound so much. And now she's kind of come to terms with it here. She's ready to move on and not really care what that person thinks anymore, or the music industry as a whole. She's gonna put out her own work. Yeah, really good. And Rebecca's actually specifically asked about this song in NPR magazine. The interviewer says to her that it sounds like this song is about being judged by other people's standards, and she says totally, this song has a lot to do with my own relationship with myself and the ways in which I speak to myself and those relationships that I've had. When I wrote this song, I was really struggling with how I viewed myself. That song is really about the insecurity that you have with yourself, about giving permission for other people to come in and destroy you or kind of shake up your own view of yourself. That's so cool. It's very empowering, especially the transition between the hyperpop elements and then the more guitar stripped back stuff, where I do feel like she's sitting in the feeling a lot more. Okay, now on to track number 3. This one is Misery Loves Company. Nice beat.
Doing her favors.
Ooh, this is grungy clubby.
So many words on the tip of my tongue. I got a graveyard
Nice.
of all of the failed loves that I've paid in blood.
Ooh, a lot of axes.
All of these tears I've cried in.
This is a very breakup based album already.
I'd rather be dead than have to sleep here.
Whoa, it's so honest.
What's wrong with me?
Ooh, this beat.
Neck deep, all in, can't breathe, won't sweat.
This is like
No lights,
so sexy. Chorus is like in and out. Like, it's like a really good time. It stops so quickly. Like, this part is like the foreplay, I think. And then when she says what's wrong with me, and it was boom. Oh, a bridge. This is like the embodiment of lust. This is when you're in the club and you're searching for somebody to go home with. Nice. Craving your toxicity under my skin. Girl, you nasty girl. Oh, how am I gonna rank this album? This is really strong so far. The production is beautiful. Ooh. Oh, and the outro was good too. It was like when you're waking up from like a dream and everything's very ethereal and you're still not sure if you're dreaming or you're awake. That one was really hot. Like, at one point I felt like it was breakneck speed. I think it was like the second half of the first chorus all the way into the second verse kind of flew right in. It didn't give you any chance to breathe. There was no room. It just was like kept going. And I just love when a song has you in the world, in the story, and the feeling that they're feeling. It was a very strong personification of having sex with somebody where you're just like, oh, going to the same rhythm, and it's like really like you're in tune. There's a darkness to some of the lyrics as well. I mean, she's saying, crave the toxicity under my skin. You know, she wants somebody that's kind of bad for her. She doesn't want a relationship. Maybe she's not over the last person from Erase You. And when she says, my misery loves your company, like when she's at her lowest, she wants this person to be with her. And I mean, fuck girls can exist too. And I mean, go girl. I just love that. It's so empowering in a different way as well. The version's very vulnerable about how you feel and you feel sad. This one's about like when you feel horny as well. Over to track number 4 now. This is the first single from the album. It is called Crumbs, and another masterpiece here. Like again, she doesn't deserve somebody good. She just never learns. It's very masochistic, isn't it? This is so submissive. There's something where the cadence of that just feels grungy and dark to me, which is so effective. Unholy. Yeah, like she wants to be like dripped in wax. Have you ever seen those porns? I love that line. In my body and in my head, like I'm really focusing on being with you and not worrying about the stress or everything else. Like it's very all-encompassing here. I'm on bridge. She's like, it's bad. Like she wants to really know it's bad. They're bad. They're not the right person. And she's like, it's like she's realizing that, and she's like, oh, I'm malfunctioning. I don't want to be part of this anymore, do I? At this point, this is where they're just having sex to me, and she's like not even thinking about it. She can't form a sentence. Oh, still good. Still a really, really good song. And the more I hear it in the album, I think it was the right choice for the first single too. It does set up a lot of the themes about not really loving yourself and wanting to be told what to do, especially after being told you're cringy, you're not going to fit in, and being told by the record companies what way to be and behave. I mean, I can only imagine that she felt constantly controlled throughout her life. Ever since Friday went viral all the way in 2010, I mean, she probably has never really escaped the public eye, and it's always negative. So it makes a lot of sense why she wants to be controlled, and because that is just how she's used to. But also the other songs in the album do touch on insecurity, especially Destroy Me, and also the inability to really get past a breakup, which we've seen in Erase You as well. So there's a lot of these themes that are kind of coming together in this song, and I really think it's kind of the anchor point for this album so far. Now on the track number 5, this one is called DOE-EYED. I just love this type of music. With this auto-tune feature in there too, not that she needs it. Yes. This beat. She's just drunk, she wants to have sex with this person. But she wants them in a more romantic way than in the last song. Oh, just fast-paced again. Handcuff me, girl. We're back on our kinky shit. Oh, I love this part. I already feel like I know the words. It's that good. She's so horny on this album. And I feel like that's her coping mechanism for a breakup, is to throw herself into sex. Come on, bridge, please. Nice. Merci beaucoup. This album is hot. She's challenged them. Am I that shy? I'm not. She's not shy. Oh, yes. Oh.
Wow, the power of women.
These are all short, but in a good way for me. They're very punchy. They get to the point and they're moving along. And for me personally, there really are different embodiments of what it feels like to be in a breakup and be lustful for another person. We have Crumbs that is much more sexual and much more explicit and degrading. And this, which is a lot more like romantic, but she's in control here. She has got a little kitty with big dreams and she wants to be out with strawberries and cream. Like she is being like, here's what I want. Where Crumbs is very like, I'll do whatever you want. You can do nothing wrong. I will serve you. I really like that juxtaposition. I think it's really interesting. Now track number 6, it is the second single from the album. It is Sick to My Stomach.
I told you to move on. And girl, that's what you did.
I just really like the fact that it starts like a ballad and then it does kick up the tempo. And the juxtaposition there is so good. She really, really does not want to see her ex-girlfriend with another girl. And I love that. She's like, I know that you're not the person for me, but still I don't want to see you with somebody else. That's interesting. It's very complex. Yeah, and she feels like she's been lied to when this person says, you know, I'll never move on, but you actually moved on quite quickly. I like she gets to show off her vocals here in the background. Like, her vocals are strong. She broke up with the person and then now she's upset and she knows she can't blame her ex-girlfriend because that was what they agreed to do. I really do wish that last chorus had more oomph to it. You know, I feel like by the time you get round to it and you've had the bridge and stuff, it doesn't really hit as hard the last time around. And I think she could have punched up a bit more, especially utilizing a lot of the elements from the bridge, and she could have really beefed out the last chorus to make it more anthemic. I do want to take a bit of time just to say thank you, Rebecca Black, for making a jealous girl anthem that I can relate to. I'm a jealous girl. Put a hands up emoji in the comments if you're also very jealous. I really feel like I could relate to this song and I don't even have an ex. So I really respect her for creating a song that I can relate to. Thank you, Queen. You know, it must be difficult to have broken up with somebody and then see them move on quicker than you have been able to move on. It must be quite introspective and quite difficult to be like, I can't be annoyed at you because this is what I made you do, but also I thought you'd be more sad. And I like that. I think that's really interesting and different, especially because in Erase You, she is so unable to move on and she's really projecting a lot on another person, and so she can move on. This one's more honest and she's really saying how she feels. Track number 7 now. This is What Am I Gonna Do With You. The production just slaps on this album. Now she's in control. Whoa. This is like her villain song from a Disney movie. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. She's really like thinking all her options here. The production's really rich in this one. She's locked them in a maze. Oh, babe. Her voice is sweet there, but it's a threat. If I get my hands on you, you will be obsessed with me. Sweet like a sucker. Oh, the double entendre there. She's really toying with them in her mind. Oh, this guitar solo. This is more that rock element that I was expecting. Ooh. Nice. For me, and I mean, I know this is part of the problem, I do constantly think, how did this person create Friday? And that's so wrong because, to be honest, like, she didn't create that song. You know, she was 13, she didn't write the song, she wasn't really involved in the process, she just sang it and they made it go viral. She wrote every single one of these songs. These have her fingerprints all over them, and she is so smart. That is infectious. It also just goes really well with the theming of the album about being in control. She really was submissive in the first half of this album. The first 5 songs are really dismissive. The 6th song then is a lot more about how she feels and the jealousy that she feels and the honesty of that, and now she's embraced that. She's in control. Someone else comes along to her and she's like, oh, I don't need to suck up and be beggy for you. You are under my spell. You can be controlled by me. You're in my maze. And the guitar elements in there and the bridge, I mean, I love a bridge, but when the bridge does that with the instrumentation, oh, it's so juicy. Like, it was rich. Cash money. This is self-released. I want to make this point clear. She releases independently. Mother. That one was really good for me live as well because it is quite repetitive, and so then I could get into the mantra of it really quickly because obviously we haven't heard the songs yet. Over to track number 8 now. It is called Cry Hard Enough. Ooh. Whoa. Shit. This is toxic. The cycle was too strong to break. That is the theme of this album for me. This sounds like Rina Sawayama. Nice. A lot of production on this song. She's blaming herself compared to the first song where she's not taking any accountability at all. Fantasy love is a loaded gun because it's not love. Yes. Oh, I really want her to do this. That last line was really intriguing. It's like I'm standing in an airport and I wanted you to know. It sounds to me as if like she's about to leave. She maybe hasn't told them she's leaving yet, but you know, she's at the airport. She's making a decision of where to go next, where to take the next flight to in her life, you know, the next stage. And a lot of this to me sounds like she's recording it on a voicemail and sort of leaving it for the person and saying like, maybe I didn't do all these things right, but I can't do this anymore. This one was beautiful. I think this is the closest to a ballad we're going to get, I hope, because for me, this is how she's doing ballads. This is how she does this type of music. You know, the production invokes a feeling, and a lot of the times a ballad just strips production right back. This time she just used it to a different device, and I thought it was so interesting. And I mean, the lyrics here, especially at the end when she says, I really want to let go and I want to stand tall on my own. She wants to finally break free of this curse and this cycle, as we've said, of, you know, being in love with somebody, break up, can't get over them, tries to sleep with somebody else and like sort of fuel the addiction that way and feed it, and then like, eventually that doesn't work out no matter if it's in control or out of control. She just can't stop thinking about this person, and now she's finally saying it's over, and I think that journey feels earned on this album. Already on the second last track of this album, and one I was really hyped for at the start, it is track number 9, Look at You.
People see you on the screen and think you make believe.
Ooh.
But I tell them you're better in person.
So this person's famous.
Everyone's got someone who can blow.
This is like her talking to herself, you know, through a different lens to me.
I hate that she made you wanna cry. I hope you see that.
Nice. I'm sorry to pause, and this could be totally like a bullshit theory, like I'm ready for the bullshit theory alert to start going off, but like I feel like this is from the perspective of herself at 13, looking at, you know, who she became and thinking like, I'm really jealous that you've really identified who you are. There's gonna be some hard times, you know. It's almost like the inverse RuPaul making you hold up a baby picture of yourself, you know, that sort of vibe. And I think it's quite brave if that is the case.
Oh, and I can feel the vultures circling, they're hungry for the blood of a beautiful thing.
The production's really picked up.
Somebody that fucks you up. Nothing on you, I hope you
I love that line. I hope you see that now. Well, this production is really good in the background, isn't it? Oh, yes. Oh, I love pop punk. Feels quite joyous now, like she's realised. And then strip it right back.
Took one shot and shut you down. Look at you.
Again, a quick one. I really like the pacing of this album, which is contradictory to some of the things I've said on other reactions. I just feel like this is the right length of songs for her because it gets her story across. I don't even know if my theory is right. Please comment in the comments if you think I'm wrong, because I just do have that bit, you know, Katy Perry loves to do this in her music videos where she sees her past self and things like that, and I could imagine that's what it could be like. in this one. I just think that she's been really damaged by a lot of the things that happened around Friday, and becoming famous at such a young age has taken such a toll on her that it's really made her take, another 13 years to really release a debut album, which is crazy to think about. I can imagine that she's thinking, looking at herself, selling out these shows and thinking, look at you now, like you did it. I'm so proud of you. And I hope she is proud of herself because, to release this album independently is just a massive achievement. I don't know how I'm going to rank this. Ooh. Okay, over to the last song now. We have Performer.
Heart's too used to being lonely, stuck in my soul memory. No one really knows me. It's my independence coming back to bite me. Do you really like me?
This one is so reflective of her career.
But is it stopping me getting close to you?
Ooh.
I'm a performer, got myself cornered, put on my armor, multiple versions of the same
This is
person,
deep.
all of them hurting.
Whoa, this one's really cool. The entire first verse is really, really talking about, her career so far. She said, no one really knows me. Is my independence coming back to bite me? Do you really like me or just pretending? So when she was on tour, she was telling this story about how she tried to do a show in New York a few years after Friday came out, and she was really trying to build back up her career, and then they were like, you'll only sell 8 tickets. Like, she only sold 8 tickets for the show. And so, when she says no one's coming to see me, no one really knows me, is my independence then going to cripple me? Her not going with a big record label to help support any of this means it's a big risk to have to book your own venues, to book your own tour dates, to book all of that, and it's like, whoa, she did that on her own. But the chorus then speaks to a lot of the disadvantages of being a performer, being able to put on a persona, and then all of those things hurting somebody else. So like, what is the value in it? Whoa. It's so weird to me that she put this at the end of the album though. It's a lot slower and a bit more empty than the rest of the songs. She's definitely building it up here. Oh, it's quite epic actually. I love that line, put on my armor. That's what a performance is to her. A way to hide behind someone else. But all of them are hurting. She can never escape it. Ooh, can I have chills? I feel like I kind of did some in the ballads when I was like, oh, this is the most ballady song she's gonna do, and then the last two were more ballady than anything. I really liked that song. I think it probably will fall down near the bottom of my overall ranking, and it's not for anything bad. It's just I did feel like it was a bit more meandering than a lot of the other songs. I felt like this album is like to such a high standard that this one kind of fell in the middle for me, and I would have thought it would have fallen in the middle of the album, other than the last little bit of the song, which is quite epic and builds. And I suppose maybe she was going for the fact that the first song is so closed off in her own responsibility, and now in this last one she's owning up to the fact that she can put all these personas on, but regardless it's not working and she's still hurting. I like that, but I just don't know if I would have put it at the end. In terms of how it feels sonically, it's not really to the same level for me as the other ones. Okay, so that has been our first reaction to Let Her Burn, and what a ride this has been. I mean, normally I'm not a big fan of shorter albums, but this one really fit the bill for me. It did feel like a full project, which is amazing to do. I want to give props to her for A, self-releasing this. This is self-released, this is independently released. I mean, and the production was that high quality. I think that is so impressive. B, to come out with the first album and have an identity so strong like this, I think is amazing. You know, being vulnerable, telling your own life story, reflecting on the past, but also like the pop punk sounds and the rock sounds. All the songs sounded so cohesive, but they weren't like the same. Massive shout out to the album cover as well. I'm going to pop it up again here because whoa, it is beautiful. She looks amazing. I really love the trend now we've got these days of like album covers with just like an image to sum up the sound and the theme versus having to put the title on there. I mean, some people might not like that and I totally understand, but I think it looks really cool. She looks so good, and she's sort of sitting in the middle of all these flames untouched. You know, she's now dealing with all of the sadness and all the burdens and all the flames that she's currently encapsulated within, and they're no longer affecting her because she's told this story, and I think that's beautiful. And over here you can see my final ranking of the album after a few listens. It's going to be really hard to do. I don't envy editor me having to decide which songs are at the top and which ones are at the bottom, though I have to say the ones at the top will likely be Destroy Me, Misery Loves Company, Crumbs, DOE-EYED, and Look at You, which I think are all brilliant songs. Sick to My Stomach up there as well. At the bottom, I'm really struggling. I think I'd have to put Performer like at the dead last, just because it was probably the one I enjoyed the least sonically. And then potentially What Am I Gonna Do With You and Cry Hard Enough, but that's so difficult because they were all amazing. I felt so conflicted in what I don't like from this because I've loved everything. I think at this stage of your career, to come out with an album like this, to really have an identity, and I mean, sing the way she does live, she is so good. Definitely recommend going to see Rebecca Black live. She was amazing and put on such a good show. And that has been a ranking and reaction of this album. Please let me know what you thought of the album down in the comments, and anything else you want me to react to over on this channel. Please like and subscribe. It means so much to me, it really does, and I just love being able to do this for you guys. And also please check out my beautiful boyfriend and I's podcast. It is called Snapped. Each and every week we dive deep into a different album to try and convince you that they truly snap. We've covered some amazing albums so far, from Marina and the Diamonds for Guilty Pleasure by Ashley Tisdale, Reputation by Taylor Swift, and many more. So head over to your podcast provider and give us a follow. It means so much again. And as always, I have been your host Paul. You're currently trapped in the trick room until I return, so I will see you very soon for another video. Thank you so much. Bye.